Welcome to JZSports. I'm Jake.
I'm Zach, and these are our Week 10 NFL predictions.
We're going to start with the Ravens and the Falcons. Who do you have?
All right, with the Ravens and Falcons, I'm going to take the Falcons. And, I love the way they've been playing. Matt Ryan has been great this year. He has about 1,950 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a 90.2 rating. So he's been great. Roddy White has been, leading receiver this year. And, I look for them to take the Ravens.
All right, well, in this Thursday night game, and I hate when it comes to Thursday games, the Ravens, I think, are going to win this game because, let's face it, the Falcons they're mainly a rushing team, and they just went up against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league and almost lost the game. The Ravens are a very good rushing team and are a very good rushing defense. To me, that spells death for the Falcons right there. And on top of that, the Falcons' secondary is a little weak. I think that the Ravens, with their high-powered passing attack, should be able to take this game. I got the Ravens.
All right, and our next game is Titans and Dolphins. Who do you have for this one, Jake?
For this one, I'm going to take the Dolphins. They just lost. They just lost 2 close games. Well, actually, no, the one against the Ravens wasn't close, but they had high expectations for this team, and I just see them trying to bounce back, trying to have a good game against the Titans, who are playing pretty well, but they're not an excellent squad. They're just a good squad. I like Brandon Marshall. I think Chad Henne's coming up. He's improving a little bit. I like the Dolphins to win this game.
All right. Well, I agree with you. I'm not totally convinced on the Titans yet. They're a good team. They're not great, but I'm going to choose the Titans because I love what their running game is great. Chris Johnson's good every week, but Vince Young is number 2 in passer rating right now, 103.1. Most people don't know that because he doesn't light up the scoreboard, but I think they'll play an efficient game this week. I don't think the Dolphins are a match for them right now.
All right, Jets-Browns.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with my Jets on this one, and I think we can both agree. But I love what the Browns are doing. Peyton Hillis had a great game last week. He's been great this year. But I think the Jets are too good right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love the Browns dominated the Patriots and they dominated the Saints. 2 surprise wins, but I can't buy them yet, especially not against a defense like the Jets. I love Peyton Hillis. I think Colt McCoy is going places.
Colt McCoy has stepped up.
Yeah, Colt McCoy stepped up big time, but I feel like the Browns are going to make me feel stupid again, just like they did last week, but I'm still going to go with the Jets.
But it will be a tight game. It'll definitely be a tight game.
It's going to be a good game. All right.
Next, we got Bengals and Colts. Who are you taking in this one?
All right, I'm taking the Bengals. I hate the way the Colts played on Sunday against the Eagles. I've never seen Peyton Manning throw so many incomplete passes in a game. Granted, he's missing a lot of his good receivers, but you know what? That's the problem. Austin Colley's not going to play. Dallas Clark's not going to play. Adai is still hurt. They have all those injuries in the defense. And the Bengals do have that very high-powered passing attack. They're angry. They just came off a really tight loss to the Steelers. I like the Bengals in this one.
All right, well, I'm going to take the Colts, and that's because they still have their number 1 receiver, Reggie Wayne. Mike Hart and Donald Brown has stepped it up since Adai's been out. So, I really like their running game now. I mean, not that they really need it, but I love their running game, and, I think that'll be what takes them over the edge. So, next we have Vikings and Bears. Who do you want?
NFC North Showdown. This is a tough one to call. I think in the end, though, I'm going to have to take the Vikings on a matter of defense. The Vikings defense is known for getting sacks. They're known for pressuring the quarterback. Jared Allen is one of the best in the league at doing that. And, the Mike Martz offense. We've been talking about it all season. Jay Cutler has been getting sacked all year, nonstop. He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league, if not the most sacked. I think the Vikings are going to get to him all game. And in the end, the Vikings offense is starting to get a little bit more in sync. Brett Favre had a career day. I think the Vikings outplay the Bears in this game.
All right, well, last week I took the Vikings, and, they almost lost. If it wasn't for Favre throwing for almost 500 yards, they would have lost that game. So, but this game I'm just going to have to go with the Bears. Jay Cutler played an efficient game last week. Not great, but he had a 97 rating and 2 touchdowns, no picks. So, I'm going to have to go with the Bears. I think Julius Peppers is going to have a field day all over Brett Favre because he's basically immobile at this point. So, look for the Bears to take this one.
Right.
But now we come to the Lions and Bills.
All right. Well, first off, let me just say the Bills are this close.
Yeah, they're so close.
So close. They lost by 3 to the Bears. I was rooting for them. They didn't make it, but this, I think, is the Bears' week. Stafford just went out for the season after coming back for, 2 games? And, because the Giants also knocked out Sean Hill, the Lions are stuck using, I don't even know.
Drew Stanton.
Yeah,
Drew Stanton, who used to play third base in the minor league system of the Yankees.
If that tells you anything.
Now we got Drew Stanton.
Yeah.
It's not looking very good for Detroit
Ryan
right
Fitzpatrick's getting better every week. With his, he's getting a better rapport with his receivers, especially Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson had 11 catches for 145 yards last week. I like the Bills to finally get their first win.
Yep. Next we have Panthers and Bucks. So who are you taking in this one?
All right, I'm taking the Bucks. The Panthers are just a complete mess. D'Angelo Williams is still out. Jonathan Stewart is averaging something like 2.2 yards a carry this season or something. He's awful after having 1,000 yards last season. It's and without Matt Moore, they've got Jimmy Clausen in again. I just don't like the Panthers. They need to get ready to rebuild. The Bucks playing pretty well. They almost beat the Falcons. I like the Bucks to take this game.
I agree. I'm going to take the Bucks. I love the way they're playing. LeGarrette Blount looks good too. But I love Josh Freeman. He's been awesome this year.
Freeman.
He's really carried them. But also look for John Fox to possibly coach the Cowboys next year. Just remember that. All right, next we got Texans and Jaguars. Who do you got for this one?
I'm going to take the Texans again. They let me down last week against the Chargers, but the Jaguars are not nearly as good as the Chargers are. So, they have a pretty poor defense. I like the Texans to bounce back, get out of last place. Because if they're behind the Jags, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the Texans on this one too. I think that's a pretty easy round right there. But all right, next we got Chiefs Broncos, and I think we can both agree that the Chiefs are going to take this one. Broncos have been disappointing this year. I mean, the expectations weren't too high, but they've really just been awful.
Yeah, they fell below their expectations. Like every year that they've had the last couple seasons, they started out strong. And now they've just been weak since then, and the Chiefs are just so surprising.
Jamal Charles, Dexter McCluster comes back.
Yeah, even though they lost to the Raiders are a respectable team now, so I still like the Chiefs to win this game. Next we got Cowboys and Giants.
Cowboys and Giants.
Yeah, obviously, I'm going to go with the Giants, but like I said last week, if you aren't Jimmy Johnson, you should be going with the Giants too, and that's all I'm going to say about this game.
I'm going to agree with that. I think this is pretty much a gimme at this point. But then we come to the Rams 49ers. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the 49ers in this game. They've only won one game?
49ers, they've won one game.
Yeah, one game. And Mike Singletary's holding on for his job right now. The Rams have been playing at a pretty high level, but this is a divisional game and you can never really know what to expect. I like the Niners to get another win.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I love the way they're coached. I love Steve Spagnuolo, and I think they've really stepped up this year. Bradford, as we has been playing amazing, and the 49ers have just played horribly this year. They had huge expectations. They were supposed to be the #1 defense in the league, fantasy statistically, but they just they haven't shown up. But that leads us to the Seahawks and Cardinals. Who are you taking in this one?
I think we can both agree we're taking the Cardinals, especially after the way the Seahawks played against the Giants last week. And especially
given they had Charlie Whitehurst.
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck is supposed to come back,
but we don't know
yet. It's uncertain, but he was running, practice on Monday, and he's doing all right. So look for him to come back.
Yeah, the Cards though had a big game.
Say it's even more of a blowout.
Yeah, Cards had a big game against the Vikings, a close loss to the Bucs. I like the Cardinals in this game.
All right, and then we have Patriots Steelers. Who are you taking in this one?
All right. Well, given the Patriots' atrocious performance last week and their smoke and mirrors team, they seem good on paper, but if you look at it closely, the Patriots really are not that good in any position except for quarterback. I like the Steelers. Steelers are playing great. One of the best teams in the league. I got the Steelers taking this game.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
Oh, and it's prime time. Steelers do not lose on prime time.
Sure. All right, I'm taking the Steelers because a key note, the Patriots give up 117 yards a game rushing, and the Steelers are known for their rushing if it's Mendenhall or if it's Roethlisberger rolling out of the pocket. So look for them to run all over the pass. But this brings us back to our last game, Eagles-Redskins. Who are you taking in that?
Well, again, I have to take the Eagles in this game, especially after the way they dominated. They didn't dominate, but they beat up the Colts last week. And Michael Vick is playing an unprecedented level. Yeah, the Colts came back at the end. Michael Vick's playing at an unprecedented level. Skins have all kinds of problems in the locker room, especially between Shanahan and McNabb. I like the Eagles to win
I think we know who should be the quarterback in Philly right now. But we'll let the stats talk for that. All right, so that's about it for today.
Thanks for listening to JZSports. I'm Jake.